What's good, y'all? It's Jahan Dotson. This is Second Win Podcast. Check it out. Growing up in North, it's a rough environment. And that really made me work hard and realize, like, I could do this.
You end up suffering a compound fracture in your leg.
I wanted to come back, like, so much stronger and make sure that, like, that never happened again. I went on an official visit to UCLA. I fell in love with LA.
That one-hand joint?
Yeah, the one hand was crazy. That was like an out-of-body.
Like, bro, Han is serious. They're like, nah, he's skinny. I said,
Bro,
watch me get that ball.
Your sophomore year, your mom ends up getting diagnosed with cancer.
That was probably one of the toughest moments in my life.
April 28th, 2022, draft day.
And I get a call. It's Coach Rivera, the Washington Commanders. Every time I feel like I'm down and out, like, I just keep going. I just keep going.
Before this episode begins, I want to give a big thank you, big shout out to all our followers, all our subscribers. You guys help us way more than you know. We're super appreciative of it. Obviously, the bigger the channel gets, the bigger the guests get. We get the chance to sit down with these amazing people and talk about all the different stories that they help, you guys catch your second wind as well. So if you just do us a huge favor, hit the subscribe button. It would help us out more than you know. Thank you, and enjoy the episode.
Before we get into the pod, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, AG1. Being a former NFL football player, I'm always looking for ways to upgrade my health, and I use AG1 every week, every month when I can. So when you get that chance, please check it out.
You know what AG1 is for me? Is like, y'all remember Popeye when he used to eat the spinach and he would be ripped and be hella energized? That's what AG1 is for me. When I wake up, I put in my smoothie, I put in my water bottle, whatever the case may be, and it gets me ready for the day. I'm not an athlete anymore. I don't work out as much, but I'm always looking for the best things to put in my body. So AG1 has 75 vitamins. It has 75 minerals. It's the perfect thing to upgrade your health. If you want to upgrade your health, try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D. That's free. If it's free, it's for me. Like, you can't go wrong with free. And get 5 free AG1 travel packs. Go to drinkag1.com/secondwin. Again, that's drinkag1.com/secondwin. Damn, don't give me the ball that I missed on. Give me the ball that I made on. Yep, get it started. Name the great one. You don't want to get him started. Come on.
Today, welcome to another episode of the Second Win Podcast. I'm Jay Mills, of course, with the one and only Gio.
Ganging him.
Already, man. You already know what's going on. But today, man, we're so grateful to have, a great friend of mine, former teammate of mine,
Valley Boy,
Lehigh Valley Boy,
on, man.
star Commanders wide receiver Jahan Dotson. Thank you for joining the show, brother.
Don.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for coming on, man.
Y'all boys
for real, man. Look, I'm excited for this episode because, like, I've known you for a while now, and you always been to yourself. You always been reserved. So I'm excited to, like, kind of learn more about you. So, like, if I don't know about you, I know they don't know nothing about you, you know? So I'm sure there's a lot of Commanders fans, a lot of Lehigh Valley people, a lot of Jahan Dotson fans, Penn State fans that are excited to, hear more about you. And I think, with that being said, the biggest thing about understanding someone is really, like, understanding the things that they went through in their childhood that helped them shape who they are now, different instances that kind of mirror who you are as a person. So, growing up in Newark, New Jersey, first of all, what was that like? Yeah. And then also, what was your first instance where you were like, I'm different. Like, I'm a monster. These dudes cannot touch me.
Right. Growing up in North, I don't know if y'all too familiar with it.
You said it right.
It's a rough environment.
Brick City.
It's tough, and that's basically where all my family grew up. Aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents. That's, we grew up in 5-minute radius of living within each other. So, it was pretty cool to have that dynamic. But, like I said, it's a rough environment. A lot of people don't make it out. So, and my dad noticed that early. He was both my parents working extremely hard every single day. Basically, grew up with my grandparents a lot, just so they could create a better opportunity for their kids. You know what I'm saying? But when I was a young kid, man, I felt like I was always good, but it was really my parents who they kept reinforcing it to me, like, you the greatest. Like, you go be something.
That's fire.
That's fire.
And that really made me work hard and realize, like, I could do this. Like, I got a gift, and I was blessed by God. And honestly, I just been trying to maximize that gift ever since a jit.
Yeah.
So your parents were giving you that affirmation since you were a kid, huh?
Yeah, basically my whole family, man. Like,
Really?
bro, it's crazy. To this day, like I went to my great grandma's 100th birthday party.
Oh, that's amazing.
A couple weeks ago, and like just being around my family, like they are not shy to remind me, like, you know, you the greatest.
Yeah.
That's great.
But that's dope,
crazy.
man, because
Yeah.
a lot of, like, sometimes you got people that be, like, silently, like, hating, you know, on the side. But if you got your whole family, first of all, feeding you that positive affirmation as a jit,
Right.
and then you get there and they like, we told you. And it's not like, we told you, like.
By no coincidence.
Yeah, you know, it's like, you guys told me, but you also, like, helped me.
Yeah.
Like, you helped me get here. That's
facts.
dope.
Yeah.
Like, that's dope for real.
That was cultivated in your environment, bro.
Yeah.
That's great.
For sure.
Because even knowing you're a very humble and quiet dude, but just someone that growing up in that, always telling you, yo, you're gonna be great. You're gonna be the greatest. Like that
really
breeds, that
helps.
breeds to success.
Exactly. You know, like just hearing that, and I really think, like, you know, words of affirmation and speaking things into existence, like that it's true. Like
So true.
It's true. And when you hear those things, it make you want to be great. You know what I'm saying? Like them telling you is different, but then I go put it into work. You know what I'm saying? I make it happen. And they get to sit back and say, like, I told you.
Yeah.
Like, I knew this was going to happen. I knew you was destined for it. So it's definitely pretty cool just hearing that and having that support from my family.
That's great. So, you know, your family relocates to Nazareth, Pennsylvania, and, you know, you're snapping in high school, man. But, you know, your junior year, you transferred to Petty High School in New Jersey, and you end up suffering a compound fracture in your leg and ending your season. So how'd you know, what was your mental and how'd you bounce back from that during that time period?
You know, that was really tough because I basically transferred to Petty for basically football. The coach there really helped me get my recruiting process started. Coming from such a small town in Nazareth, no one really ever got recruited high out of here, so I felt like I needed a jump start, and he was able to do that for me. You know, had high hopes for the season, playing some great competition football. But, you know, fourth game in, I was playing quarterback, and, you know, right? Yeah.
Oh, you was throwing that day?
I was doing numbers though. I was really doing numbers.
Snap! You had a throwing touchdown that game.
I had like 4 touchdowns at half. Like I was
Dang.
going crazy. But then come out to half, you know, and you when you a kid, you so young, you don't ever think about getting hurt, like ever. You just out there hooping, having fun. That's what I was doing. But, you know, I suffered that leg injury, and it really opened my eyes, you know, because it was the first time that I was away from the game. Like that really helped me really figure out my hunger for the game and how much I really love it, because it hurt so much just being away from it. So, you know, I wanted to come back like so much stronger and make sure that like that never happened again, honestly.
So you learned a lot from that
Oh
experience.
my God, so much. Honestly, I feel like it was a blessing in disguise. I feel like I needed that to happen for me to figure out why I love the game so much and like why I have fun doing it, because I just love hooping. Like that's what I love doing. It's what I've been doing since a jit.
Your mentality was different after?
Yeah,
when you came back and like rehabbed and like you just appreciated the game, like did you feel like you appreciated it more?
100%. You know, like when you're away from something that you love so much, it makes you like figure out the whys and figure out what you're really doing, you know. And during that process of me training to get back, I just wanted to make sure, you know, like this can never happen again. Like I will make sure that everything in me, that this will never happen again, and I will never be taken away from what I love doing the most.
It's crazy. Like when you have something and you could do something so much, you really like you stop appreciating it like as much. Like even like I'm going back to like the COVID days. I got COVID.
Yeah.
And when I never appreciate like my sense of smell or like my taste,
Like
I couldn't taste for a day, bro. I was in my room in the fetal position. I almost started crying.
He
bro.
calling me. I'm like, bro, I can't do
I
nothing
was
for
like,
you.
bruh, this is crazy. But like, it's just like going back to what you said is really like wild that you don't even realize it until it gets taken away from you.
Exactly. You know, like it is little things too. Like little things get taken away from you. You don't realize how much you appreciate it till it's gone, man. It's crazy.
I heard through the grapevine you used to mess the Zephyrs up, man. I heard that you used to do work on y'all boys.
Stop. I didn't play against
I
Han.
heard
You're lucky. You lucky. You
Tell
did.
him, huh? I heard you used to do
lucky you
work.
did.
I didn't play
honestly.
against Han. I used to play corner, but like I was in a nickel. But if they had me outside, it used to be on a star receiver. But I had a safety over top.
Yeah,
you was
needed
getting
that.
strapped if it was me. If it was me, you was getting strapped. I ain't gonna cap.
Zephyrs never gave you no
Nah,
problems.
they didn't give me no problems. Honestly.
dead.
It was light work every time we went up against them.
Or Parkland. Parkland. I heard Parkland used to give me that work too.
Yeah.
Man, go ahead with all that, bro.
Oh
Go ahead with all that. Like,
You know, fast forward, you actually commit to UCLA, which is a very interesting, like that's a very interesting commit because actually, like, you don't really hear a lot of people, well, from around this way committing to UCLA. You're going all the way across the country. So you commit to UCLA, and then you end up decommitting and going to Penn State. Like, how was that transition for you? You know, why'd you commit to UCLA, and then why'd you decommit and come to Penn State? What was it about Penn State that made you, decommit?
Yeah, so basically, my senior year of high school, I went on an official visit to UCLA, and it was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
yeah.
Like, I fell in love with LA. Like,
Yeah, bro,
it was.
It's easy to do that.
I'd never been there. Nah, it's easy.
It's amazing.
I'd never been there. You know, I fell in love with the bright lights. You know, so many people, so many different cultures.
Mhm.
Like, it was amazing to me. So, you know, I committed on the spot. Like, before
Nope,
I even
really?
left.
Didn't even
Like,
think.
I'm sliding. I'm coming here. But then, you know, talking with my family, and like I said, like I was just saying to y'all, like, my family has been my biggest support system, you know, ever since I was able to walk. So, for them to be able to travel across the country every week was just so unrealistic.
Yeah,
Like,
hard.
it's a lot. So, you know, thinking about that, taking that into consideration, and then couple coaches, I felt like it was crazy the way it happened. Like the couple months after I committed to UCLA, I felt like things just started falling into place as to why I should go to Penn State and why I should decommit. Like, coaches started to get fired. I really became like much more closer with my family than I ever been. Like, and I just started to realize things. I'm like, I can't go that far. Like, I gotta find a new home. And Coach Franklin, it was crazy because they didn't have any spots left. They didn't have any scholarships
Really? By
left.
the time they got you?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, like a couple days before signing day, a receiver, Solomon Ennis, he went to Utah, but he was committed to Penn State and he had decommitted, and a spot opened up, and Coach Franklin was like, it was crazy. Like, things were just falling into place, and Coach Franklin, like, we got that spot for you if you still interested. And I was like, I'm staying home. I'm staying in PA. So that was basically how it went.
That was dope for sure. And definitely being a PA guy, like, everybody was geeked.
Only makes sense.
I remember reading it. I was like, okay, Han going to Penn State. Okay,
yeah.
Nah, facts. It was crazy.
So that was like, you tried to commit to Penn State, but they just didn't have any spots at the
I was talking to Coach Gaddis, Coach Franklin, Coach Spence, all those guys coming up to the school every week just in case something happened, you know. And it was just so hard because there were no scholarships left, and they were like, we want you, but we don't have the room. So it was really a wait and out process. I had a couple schools on my list, but yeah, I was waiting for that. I was truly waiting for that to happen, and thank God it did.
I don't think people understand how stressful, like, signing day, like, that
crazy.
whole process is, bro. That's stressful.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's really crazy.
You progressed, like, so crazy at Penn State. Like, you stayed there 4 years, and that's something that you don't see nowadays. Guys enter the portal, they're out of there. You know what I'm saying? Guys transfer, they're out of there, especially if they think you're a star.
Right.
But, like, the way you progress, you got better and better every year. It's like freshman year, you go 13 receptions, 200 yards. You just getting your feet wet, right? Then you go 30 receptions, 500 yards, 5 touchdowns. You know, you still cooling. You know, junior year, you started, you know.
Hold up now. I'm here now.
You're right. Step on the pedal.
Hold up now.
Step on the pedal. You had, like, what, 50 receptions?
Yeah.
And then
like that.
800 yards, or no, 8 touchdowns and like 900 yards.
Yeah.
And then
I think I just came short of 1,000.
Yeah. And then your senior year, you know, as the focal point, you know, when the defensive coordinator come in and he say, stop this dude right here and we win the game. Even with that being said, you went 91 yards, you know, 1,200 or 91 receptions, 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns, and you still had a rushing touchdown on top of it. You show you could tote that thing a little bit.
Right.
Like, what can you attribute that success to?
Yeah, you know, early in my college career, I was able to learn from a lot of guys like KJ Hamler. Even I didn't go to school with him, but Deshaun Hamilton. You know, I watched a lot of him.
Yeah,
I know you played with him, Jarvis. Yeah, he was crazy. So I really watched those guys, and growing up, coming through the program, I was able to just learn. I was able to just learn and put that chip on my shoulder, because at the beginning, you know, they wasn't really giving me my chance.
Yeah.
When I first came in, and I felt like, you know, I could have been out on the field, but it wasn't my time yet, honestly.
Right.
And I had to truly realize that. And I kept saying to myself, once it's my time, I'm gonna take over.
Yeah, they gonna feel me.
Yeah, they gonna feel me. They gonna have to. Like, I'm not gonna give them no other choice. And my junior year came, and it was crazy. That was the COVID year, and we weren't about to have a season.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, ain't no way. I was pushing for Coach Frank. I was talking to Coach Frank all the time. I'm like, yo, we got to have this season. You got to do everything possible because this is my first chance to be the number one.
Hell yeah.
The guy,
So, like, I've been waiting for this moment all my life, basically, to be on this stage playing at a program like Penn State in front of all these eyes, and I'm the guy. You know what I'm saying? I've been waiting. This is what I've been working for ever since I got here. So when that moment came, man, I just took it by storm, and I never looked back. And I just started making plays.
I have like vivid memories of like just people. Like that's how I like remember people. And just like for you, I just remember when you first got to school, because you were a freshman when I was like a senior.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, yo, that number 5 is gonna be a dog.
Yeah.
Nah, I remember telling
Oh
y'all.
yeah, he called out.
I remember telling
No,
bro.
I remember no
you know,
Say.
no, we from the valley, so you know me, Say, like we knew what you got
They
into.
FaceTime. I remember you and Say FaceTime. They was like, "Yo, that boy Jahan, he from the valley. He's like, how's he doing?" I said, "Nah, bro, he's cutting up in 101."
I was trying to
I ain't
tell
gonna
them. I
lie,
said,
like,
bro, Han is serious. They're like,
Yes,
nah,
bro.
he's skinny. I said,
Bro.
watch when he get that ball,
Bro.
boy. Like he knows how to play
He
football.
was doing his
Bad.
thing, and then I just remember, just like you said, like timing is everything. I just swear to God, bro, remember that Iowa game, 4th down, you caught that slant.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, he caught that slant, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro, I remember everything, bro. Yes,
Facts.
you caught that slant, and I was like, it's just like everyone has like their breakout moment, just like Say's first game when he jumped over the dude from Buffalo. Like that was his first play. Like, okay, you made a play. I was like, yeah, nah, Han gonna be okay, bro.
Right.
that one hand joint.
Yeah, the one hand was
Yes.
crazy.
I mean, I was shot, but like I wasn't shot because I'm
Yeah.
like, that's what he get into. Everybody was like, yo, Jahan, and at the time the dude was, supposed to be a first round lock or whatever. But I was
Yeah.
like, Han's a first rounder. Like y'all
Right.
keep playing with him. Like he's a
Yeah.
first rounder. That was one of the craziest
Nah,
like
that was
moments.
crazy.
And
That was-
for you, how was that?
That was like an out of body experience.
Bro, that joint was crazy.
It was crazy.
and there was no fans.
Yeah, there was no fans there, but it was crazy. Like I can't even explain that moment, what I felt. Like, you ever just like black out
Mm-hmm.
and you just doing something and your body just take over? That's really how I felt.
Yeah.
It was so wild. And I've been doing stuff like that like as a kid, but like on that stage and be able against Ohio State, like
Yeah,
our
yeah.
rival, like that, it was so crazy. Like, and I enjoyed every moment of it.
Yeah,
Like,
when
it
you
was-
black out like that, they call it the flow state.
yeah, that
Like
was
you don't
crazy.
even like realize
Yeah,
what's
nah,
going on.
Facts. It was wild.
So I just curious, just like from your freshman year to your senior year, what would you say differentiated like yourself to become that number one? Right? Was it you
Yeah.
always had the confidence?
Yeah.
But like, what do you think made you different? Like, was it you worked harder, you
Yeah.
paid more attention to details, you studied guys? Like, how do you think you took your game to that next level to be a true number one in college?
Right. I think it was just my attention to detail, honestly. Like, I felt like it was the little things in the process that a lot of people weren't going to do. Like those summers when you by yourself after some hard workouts we had, like, go get on the jugs. Go catch jugs. Like, this could pay off during the season. I felt like my senior year, I was leading the country and having the least amount of drops. Like, I felt like those jugs in the summer, they paid off. Taking it, Jaquan Brisker, who played with me at Penn State, taking reps against him in the summer when we working out, going against each other, making each other just go that much harder. It was gonna pay out. And I felt like all those little things that we were doing and that I was doing was just gonna pay off, and a lot of other people weren't doing.
Yeah, like that. Those little minute details are kind of
Yeah.
like the difference between someone who's a really good player and someone who's a great player.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you learn that even more in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like I talk to guys all the time. And they're like, "Yo, that guy is great because he does X, Y, and Z."
Exactly.
Because everyone's great. It's
Exactly.
like the little
It's
things
what
that separate
separates
you.
you. Yup.
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
For sure.
Your sophomore year, your mom ends up getting diagnosed with cancer.
Mhm.
And, I can only imagine, what you were going through and what you were feeling. How were you able to balance those feelings and emotions dealing with that while also, you know how the rigorous schedule is in college and,
Yeah.
having to deal with, trying to be the best player you can be. How was that for you?
Yeah, that was probably one of the toughest moments of my life, just because growing up, you feel like your parents are invincible. They take care of you. They do everything possible to make sure you're good, make sure you're feeling good, and you never really see them hurting. They make sure to keep, my fault, they make sure to keep that away from you. Make sure to make sure that, you're good all the time and not too worried about themselves. But when I got that news, it it was crazy. I couldn't believe it, you know, and being at school, you know, my parents, they waited a little bit to tell me. I was talking to my mom every day, but they kind of just eased me into the news, and it was really hard to hear, just because my mom is my rock, man. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a mama's boy. Like,
For sure.
I do everything with my mom. So that was really hard. But just being able to be there for that was the biggest thing possible. You know, making sure that I'm on the FaceTime calls. I'm talking to her anytime I get any chance on a weekend that I get to go home. Like, I'm going home to see my mom. Just being there for her. That was the main thing, because, you know, cancer is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
you truly don't know what's next.
For sure.
We were truly blessed by God to she's in remission.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is
God bless.
truly. But it was a very tough time. But you know, that's one of the main reasons why right now I'm trying to start my foundation. Basically based around her. Because she's my why. So I'm trying to make sure that I spread that message to others, and make sure that they get the proper treatment they need when they're going through tough times like that, like my mom was, and make sure they get the right help.
That's beautiful. I watched the My Cause, My Cleat special that you did with her, and
That was great.
I almost started crying. I was watching that joint. I was like, damn, because, you know, I've had, you know, the pleasure to meet both of your parents, and your mom is so powerful.
Yeah.
Like, she's very observant. She don't say too much,
Right.
but when she speak, you better listen, because
Yeah.
it's important and it's intelligent.
Nah,
like,
facts.
every time she spoke, I'll be like, damn, that woman's smart. And your
Yeah.
dad, he got your back till the end
Till the
of
end.
time. You know,
Till the
you
end.
posted the other day, like, he's blessed you more than anybody in your life on
Yeah.
Father's Day. Can you talk about the impact of both of them that they've had in your life?
Yeah. Insane. When you really think about it, like, it's insane the things that my parents have been doing to sacrifice to make sure that I'm in the best predicament possible to succeed in life. Like, it goes all the way back to when I was a little kid. You know, I didn't think too much about it. I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to my grandparents' house before school.
Yeah.
My grandparents go take me to school, go to my grandparents' house after school, hang out till my mom picks me up. That's what I'm thinking about as a kid. But when you grow up, you realize what was going on, what was happening. My parents both working 2-3 jobs, making sure that me and my brother have a food on the plate when we get home.
Yeah.
Making sure that we're in the best predicament possible, you know what I'm saying? And my dad moved us out of a rough environment at a very young age to give us that light. And then they've the support. That's the biggest thing with my parents. You know, they're at every sporting event,
Yeah.
every event possible that I have, that I'm attending, they're there.
Right.
And they're by my side, and make sure that they're always with me. And it is truly the blessings that they gave me. I couldn't repay them enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy to think about.
Bro, that's amazing, bro. You got a
Yeah.
great support system.
No.
I'm just listening, like, bro,
100%.
nah, you got a great support system. And
Yeah.
that, like I said, I just feel like that breeds success.
Yeah,
You know what
it
I'm saying?
truly
Like, having
does.
2 supportive parents, like, they don't miss games. Like,
Yeah.
bro, that people remember, like, kids remember those things.
Right, nah, facts. And my parents, they always be talking. My dad always be talking about it. He be like, you don't understand. And I'm like, I do. Like,
Right.
I'm at that age now where I understand.
You
Like,
realize.
I realize what the sacrifice and the hard work that y'all put in to make this happen. You know what I'm saying? I understand it. So it's pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Before we get back into the pod, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, AG1. Being a former NFL football player, I'm always looking for ways to upgrade my health. I take AG1 all the time. So when you have a chance, please check it out. Best in the game.
April 28th, 2022, draft day. Right. I remember I called you that day and I was
Yeah.
like, you ready, fool? And you was like, it's up. Like, it's up, right? You know, all the experts were saying, oh, he might go second round. Oh, he's too small. Blase, like this, that, and the third. But, like, I knew wherever you was going, like,
He'll turn it
what
up.
you was about to get into.
Yeah.
Right. What was the feeling seeing, like, you know, all those guys go before? Because I thought you was wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
Not being biased.
Me too.
To his credit, I'm not going to lie, your junior year, even before.
Bro, I
He
told
did
y'all.
say, he said, bro, Han's going first round. I'm like,
I
damn,
told
first round.
so
He's like,
many
bro, he's going
people,
first
bro.
round.
I
Your
told
junior
so
year,
many
not even
people.
senior, your junior year, he's like, bro,
Before
Han's
it
going
started,
first
though.
round.
Before it started, when you had the 500 yards your sophomore
You
year.
told me and Amani.
I told, yes, bro,
he
I
said
told you.
Han's going first round.
And what was the feeling seeing those dudes go before you, and then the feeling of getting drafted in the first round? Because you didn't know, like, it was like a fringe. Like, they didn't know if
Yeah.
you were second round, late first, whatever.
Right. Yeah, no, it was crazy. I was talking to my agent. Shout out Ed Berry. That's
Easy
my
E.
guy.
Shout out my
Easy,
dog,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, I was talking to him throughout the whole process, and he was like, "You don't know till draft night. Like you could go first round, you could go second round. You truly don't know." And in my mind, I felt like there's no way I can make it out the first round. Like I feel like I'm that guy in the draft class. I feel like I'm that receiver. You know what I'm saying? And we get to draft night, and I just see him going. I see him going, and I'm talking to Ed, and he's like, honestly, this might be better off for you. Like, the more you guys go, the earlier you're going to get picked.
Yeah.
And I had no idea about that. So I think maybe 5 and 7 picks went receivers. Yeah. And I got the call at like pick 14, 13. I'm sitting there watching the Suns game because I'm like, yo, all these guys going, like, I'm off this. I'm watching the Suns game. Yeah, I'm tight. I'm watching the Suns game with May, my guys. And I get a call, and it's Coach Rivera, the Washington Commanders. And honestly, I'm talking to him, and it's not even hitting me that I'm getting drafted.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
It's just happening. It's like I'm on a regular phone call with my man. It's like it was so weird. But then after it happened, everybody started going crazy. I'm like, dang, I just got drafted in the first round. Like, it's what I've been working for all my life.
Did
like,
you black out? That's what I'm saying. How was that moment for you?
That moment, I definitely blacked out. Like, it was crazy. But
You was in the back. Whose backyard? It was in your backyard,
yeah, it was
right?
my backyard,
Yeah.
back at the crib. Yeah, I had everybody back there, friends, family,
That joint was
teachers.
lit.
Yeah,
That joint looked
everybody.
lit, yeah.
It was crazy.
You always had that like quiet but confident
Yeah.
demeanor, like, and I imagine what you were like on draft night.
Yeah,
like, is
yeah.
that what you were like? Like, just cool. Like, it never
Yeah.
seems like you feel pressure. It's
Yeah,
always
no.
like,
Did you cry? It's okay. You
It
cried.
always feel like you just like
Nah,
too
I
cool for
almost
school,
did.
like you bobbing.
Yeah,
You didn't cry?
I almost cried when I hugged my parents. When they like announced me on the television and stuff. After I hugged my parents, I almost cried. Like, I felt the tears coming.
As you
but-
should. No,
Yeah,
it's okay to
nah,
cry.
fact,
It's
okay to cry, right? But I held it in. I'm not gonna cry.
That's a great. That's a great.
Yeah.
That's a great moment though. Just bro, you know how hard it is to go first round,
That's
let
what I'm
alone
saying.
get drafted. Bro.
Right.
Only 32.
Only 32, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Fact.
a blessing, bro. That's a blessing, and you finally get to let those emotions out once you do get drafted. All the
Yep.
training, all the pre-draft interviews.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a stressful 3 months.
Yeah, that was probably the most stressful 3 months I've ever been a part of, because you truly don't get a break
At
like,
all.
You draft, combine, pro day training. You got to go back to training just because you got to go to rookie mini camp as soon as you get drafted. Like, it's crazy, and that's right after the season.
Yeah.
Like, there's no break. You go right into
Still got
it.
injuries.
Yeah, injuries. You got to battle back. It's a lot of things, but I was truly blessed to be in a situation to be able to just do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I feel like that's one thing that pushed me through, again, through those tough months when I'm doing interviews every day, working out, is like, I get to do this. I get to live out my dream. You know what I'm saying? This is what I work for all my life. So, like, just have fun doing it.
Hell
Honestly, yeah.
That's a blessing, bro. Well, last year, you had 7 touchdowns and missed 5 games.
Yeah.
And then you get guys like, Jettas and Tyreek Hill who had 8 touchdowns and they played, the season.
Right.
Coming into the season, with the success that you had with still missing 5 games, right? Do you have a chip on your shoulder?
Oh, 100%. And honestly, like, I think it's from me just watching like TV, and honestly, we live in the age of the internet. So you always see, these sports analysts talking about this guy's bound for a breakout season, and this guy's gonna do this, and this guy's gonna do that, and like, I'm never mentioned, and like I keep that back in my head. That's what I work for. You know what I'm saying? Like, people say they don't say my name, and that's what I want.
They feel
Honestly,
take it
yeah,
personal.
yeah,
Feeling
I
that
take it
vibe.
personal.
You
Yeah,
should take that shit personal.
so when the season come, that I feel like that's why last year, when I felt like they passed up on me in the draft, all those teams, like, I had to make them feel me. That's why I came out first game, 2 touchdowns, game winner.
Game winners.
Yeah,
What
and
are you talking about?
yeah.
Right.
What are they talking about?
Four touchdowns, first 4 games. Like, I feel like I had to make them respect me. Like, I feel like I wasn't getting the respect that I need, and I had to make them respect me. So this year, I feel like I gotta come crazy. Honestly, I feel like this my breakout year. It's what I've been working hard for, and I gotta make them feel me.
Do you think you could, you carried a lot of confidence heading into the season? No, you had 7 touchdowns and missed 5 games. So I was telling someone the other day, I said, bro, all these other dudes had 8 and they played damn near the whole season.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You missed 5 games, bro.
Yeah.
That's a
It's a lot of games.
that's a lot of
Probably
games.
had
You know what I'm
like
saying?
12.
You could have had
12 plus.
Really
yeah.
busted,
That's what I'm
Nah,
saying. Really
facts.
crack that head open.
Yeah.
So just like coming off that, you probably you should feel good, like
Yeah.
confident, like yo, like when I'm healthy, I'm one of the best.
Right, 100%. You know, and I would say going into my first year, you know, I'm like, dang, I'm going into the league. Like it's different. Like these guys are different. Like you maybe you have a little bit of doubt. You know what I'm saying? And then I remember like I worked too hard for this, bro.
Hell
like,
yeah.
like I'm here for a reason. Like, and then I started to do it, and that's what made me really believe like I could really do this. I'm getting confidence in myself, so I know that, you know, going into my second year, I know I could do this. I know I can I know I can succeed at the next level, at the highest level of playing football, and my hard work is gonna attest to that. So I can't wait for it.
I'm
man.
so excited for you.
Yeah, I
bro.
can't wait.
I know you're gonna
Too,
snap,
bro.
bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you can't get that season back, but you can
Yeah.
look forward
to
to the next season,
exactly.
right? And y'all, like, I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on y'all as a team, but y'all got some
100%.
juice. Like, y'all beat Philly
Yeah,
in Philly last year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, now y'all got Bieniemy.
Yeah.
Now it's, you know, you and Terry. Now you got the whole offseason to work with a quarterback like Curtis.
Yeah.
Like, y'all had a top 10 defense last year. Like, y'all really like
got them dogs over there.
Yeah, y'all got
They
some
sleep.
sleepers. Like, talk to me a little bit about, you know, Bieniemy's philosophy and like kind of y'all expectations as a receiver unit and as an offense.
running, a lot of running.
Yeah.
Nah, but we go. It's gonna be exciting. You know, that's the one word I keep using. Everybody keeps asking me like, what's to look forward to this year? What's Bieniemy talking about? It's gonna be exciting. Like OTAs was fun. Like you get the joy of tossing the ball around with all these different guys we got, spreading the ball around the field. You know, it's exciting, and we getting our playmakers in space. That's the biggest thing. Like, we getting the ball in guys' hands and letting them do what God made them to do. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
run.
Like, well, yeah, for real. But,
Run, man.
but it's gonna be exciting. You know, I'm really looking forward to it this year, and I'm looking forward to just learning like from a great mind. Like he's been there. He succeeded at the highest level as offensive coordinator, coming off a Super Bowl last year, and I'm truly excited just to learn from him. Honestly.
There's a lot of, you know, someone say there's a lot on Sam Howell's shoulders heading into
Yeah.
this year, but having someone, a dynamic duo like you and Terry is scary. No
Yeah.
pun intended. You know what I'm saying? But like,
No pun. No pun intended. Oh
same
my
shit.
God,
He
bruh.
always trying to see how he always trying to correct me.
Nah, you
No
told
pun
me, bruh.
intended.
Like, we went over this. You supposed to say pun.
Pun.
No, no pun intended,
Messing
bro.
up this not play. No point intended. But you know, you guys definitely have one of the best wide receiver duos,
Yeah.
you know, all in the
The
league.
best.
You know, how do you
I
think
think
you
it's
match
the
up
best.
with, you know, you guys got there's duos like Jamar and
Higgins.
T. Higgins, you
Yeah.
know, AJ Devontae, you know, Tyreek and Waddle.
Yeah.
Like, where do you see you and Terry in that conversation as like dynamic duo receivers?
I think we right at the top. You feel me? Like, I feel like we both play off each other too, because he could play inside, I could play outside. He could play outside, I could play inside. You know, we just feed off each other, and we're able to do everything on the field that you ask a receiver to do. So I feel like that puts us right at the top, and the production is gonna speak. Like he produces every single year he's been in the NFL, and I know I'm gonna produce every time I get a chance to be out there. So I feel like, you know, we right at the top when you're talking about top duos in the NFL. And you was mentioning Sam Howell, that's my dog, man. Like, he was, people don't know this, but coming out of college, his junior year, he was predicted to be like top pick
I
in,
remember.
in the NFL
Yeah.
draft.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember.
so people sleep on him, but I don't know why, because he has all the talent in the world. Like, it's crazy just being able to throw with him every single day and realize, like, he puts the ball in a lot of places that a lot of quarterbacks can't. So it's really cool to be able to work with him. But like you were saying, me and Terry bound for a crazy year, man.
I can't, bro.
Yeah, I
that's
can't
that's
wait.
detracting me. You talking
Yeah.
about speed? I remember
facts.
guarding Terry.
You guarding Terry?
No, I was hold up now. Hold up.
What?
Let me explain.
Give me the
Let me
coach's
explain. Can I
number
explain?
So I can talk to him.
Let me
All
explain.
right, bro,
Let me
go
explain,
ahead,
bro.
go
Can I
ahead,
explain?
go
You know what I'm
ahead,
saying?
go ahead.
Always on my line, bro. Let me explain. It was Ohio State, and it was on special team. He was a gunner,
Yeah,
bro. I remember this one. He wasn't even starting yet
right.
at receiver, and he boom, 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 ran right past me. I'm like, bro, now that dude's fast.
Outta there.
I remember he got, and then obviously next year he snapped that receiver, but like even you, bro, you guys got speed.
Yeah, we got a lot of speed.
What's something that you learned from him like football wise, do you think that you put to your game like damn, like he does that really well?
Football wise, his deep ball tracking is probably some of the best I've ever seen. Honestly, like I truly don't even know how he does it. Like he tracks the ball better than anyone I know. Anytime we needed a big play this year, it seemed like we just called a go ball to Terry and he was going to come down with it. Yeah, like it was crazy. 50-50 balls or not 50-50 balls to him. But that's on the field. But honestly, I learned more off the field than anything with him. Like he knows how to lead a group of men. He knows how to be a professional every day. He knows how to come to practice and work. Like it's those little things that I've been picking up off him that I feel like are gonna make me, great in the future. And to have a leader like him, not only on my team but in my room, like I'm truly blessed to have that, honestly, because I've been learning so much from him without him even saying 2 words to me. Like it's just sitting back and being a sponge and realizing the things that make him great. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what's gonna make me great.
Yeah, y'all about to snap.
Yeah.
Having that leadership is second to none.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know what I'm saying? Like the NFL, obviously everyone is talented, but we talk about it all the time. We talk about it with other guys too. Like it's a lot situation.
Yeah.
And it's like you're in a great situation where you have somebody who's professional. He doesn't get in trouble. Like he's a great leader. Like he leads by example. Like having that is like, okay, bet. I know how I'm supposed to operate in this
Exactly.
league. Yeah, that's dope for sure. Everything that we've talked about from Newark, New Jersey, to your parents, to you being drafted after all these guys, to the Commanders season, with all that's happened in your life, can you describe your life in one word or one phrase, and why?
One word or one phrase. That's crazy to describe my 23 years of living.
What you think so far?
My life, I feel like a lot of people had this tattoo, humble beast. Like I feel like all my life, like y'all was saying, I've been quiet all my life, and I get that. I get that from my mom, and then like when it comes to like sports or just competing in general, like I become a beast. Like I feel like winning by any means necessary, and I get that from my dad. Like it's crazy how those two work. But
Crazy how genetics work.
Nah,
Right.
But yeah, I feel like humble beast. I'm humble, but I feel like I'm gonna come with everything I got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you a monster.
Yeah.
That's the best way to be though.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And that's how he's always been. Like,
Yeah,
it's ever since I
always.
knew you.
Always.
The only time that I had to simmer that down was when we played 2K. That was the only time.
You let him beat you?
Bro, I didn't play him.
That was the only time. No, look.
Nah, I
my
played
first interaction.
Hold on. Can we talk about the last time we played 2K?
Thank you. He never wants to talk about the last time. He always wants to talk about the time he wins.
I be doing
right.
a podcast
You know what I'm saying?
now. I be working. It's not the same. I don't got. I don't do it like that
Come
no
on,
more.
bro. I'm
You're not
not
touching
trying
him
to-
in Madden.
Not at all.
I seen it.
Stop,
I seen him
bro.
play
Not at
Madden.
all.
I played it. I'm gonna get on a game.
You've been saying this.
I've
seen his work.
I'm gonna
Yes.
get back on the game, and then we gonna see what's what. And shout out to my dog Mayhan. That's Han's right hand man.
man.
but
Shout out
yeah,
Mayhan.
shout out to my dog Mayhan, man. You know what I'm saying? You go to him if you need to get to Han, because Han will be answering the phone.
Yo, nah.
So on, man. So this show is called The Second Win. And we it's about people bouncing back, catching their second win in life, and just like hearing these stories, like you and everyone else that we had on the show. You guys are so inspirational. So for the people watching, what advice would you give to them?
I feel like some that I've always lived with is like keep going. Like no matter what it is, like you got a dream or you got something that you want to do in life and you feel like you're not getting the outcomes and you're not getting there, just keep going. Like there's always light at the end of the tunnel. And as long as you put the time invested into it, and you put the work in, like you go get that outcome. You go get it. You just got to keep going, honestly. And it sounds so cliche, but like it's worked for me all my life. Every time I feel like I'm down and out, like I just keep going. I just keep going. And eventually you go get the fruit of the benefit. You know what I'm saying? You go reap those what you want to do. But you just got to keep going. You got to keep working. you got to put that time in because it's gonna take a lot. You gotta sacrifice. It's gonna take a lot, but keep going.
Something that my college coach told me, he was like, if you want to be successful, you in whatever field it is, you study that person,
Yeah.
and you do exactly what they do, right? So you're not the only person that came on the show and said keep going. As cliche as it sounds, right? So all these people that have been on the show have said keep going. Like for the people watching, just like, yo, it's the truth.
Nah, it's
you know
the
what I'm
truth,
saying? Like
for
these
sure.
people are successful that we've had on you. Whoever else has said that, right? It's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Keep going and not quitting. Even those dog days where you want to quit, you have a bad day, like keep going.
Yep. Nah, facts. That's really facts.
For sure, man. It's beautiful, and we really appreciate you coming on here,
Man,
man.
means so much, huh?
It's
For
hard
sure.
to get you to lead the crib. You like Bruce Wayne. You know what I'm saying? We got Batman, but no, we really appreciate it, bro. Like it's all love. Can't wait to see what you do this season.
For sure.
Anybody watching, like, comment, subscribe. Go tell your baby cousin. Go tell your auntie.
Cat,
go tell
dog,
your cat,
neighbor,
dog. Go
all
tell
that,
your mama.
you know what
Go
I'm
tell
saying?
whoever you need to.
Please hit that subscribe button, repost, retweet, all that good stuff.
all that.
Man.
We got
Yeah.
Han Don on the show.
You already know.
Jahan Dotson on the show.
Already.
Easy on the show,
Washington
man.
Command. Watch, tune in. He about to go off this year
About to
again.
go off,
Tune in, man.
Second win family. We out. Gang.